New Zealand Forest Department, they imported one of the ornamental plants, butterfly bush, from China. It's very beautiful plants. And they didn't import a lot, but imported some for the home use. These species become invasive. They occupy all the mountains everywhere, so they cannot control. And they came back to the home region from the central China, Hunan province, the Zhang area, to find what is the natural enemies to control. So they came and spent several months with them to survey, to check, go to all the mountains. That's why most people go to the Zhang area is only maybe a week. I was there several months. 1 month a year, another month a year. So we walk all the beautiful places. Found some weevils, found some insects. Actually, these are eating this kind of a butterfly bush. And they took this specimen back to New Zealand and they release them to control the so-called weeds. It was not a weeds, is important as ornamental plants. So this is things in the older world, Africa and Asia, we don't feel that much pressure because we have so much original species. Every species is kind of in check by other species. So if we have like we have an Asian longhorn beetle, it's a very long antenna beetle. It's originally from China, but it was not a big pest in China. They accidentally imported into US from the world, and it became a huge problem. And also, it's all the fertilizer stuff. This is all the USDA, every country's Department of Agriculture to focus. How do we, make sure all the fertilizers are safe, are up to knowledge. If we can go to more organic, less any chemical pollutions, less chemical stuff, conserve the soil. So it's a long future of the department is to preserve, to promote our soil agriculture for long lasting. Not that we want to, say, okay, this is season. We put a lot of fertilizers and we get bumper harvest and then we don't care anymore. If you rent that land, you can do it. But if the land is yours, you have to keep this long-lasting farmland. So organic fertilizer, organic pesticides is very important for organic sustainable agriculture. So there's a whole purpose. We are introduce this fertilizer is to try to teach farmers, teach the community for long-lasting sustainable agriculture, for industrial purpose. More importantly, it's for human health, because we incorporated all the organic, natural nutrients instead of from industrial chemistry or from anywhere you don't know. So this way we keep everybody safe. So that's it. I just have some feeling about we are lay off talk about something strange stuff. But if we ever have some, we don't have many people. Any questions? If you know questions, I can start something, and then we can stop and to see if we can have more to share. Actually, today let me see. Well, I sort of not too many people actually have many.
Yeah, we have 41 today.
Yeah, I didn't because
42.
yeah, that's good. And some people from other region ask me about a potato. They said, well, U.S. is a potato big market, and so if we can talk about a potato, so I prepared this today actually. This one. So potatoes is in U.S. is a huge industry for agriculture. For maybe one of the time during the 90s, if half of the entomologists, people are specialized for the insects, half of the agriculture entomologists in U.S. work with the potatoes. You think how big a potato industry it is? Almost every other one is work for potato pests. So potato pests, and suddenly most potato pests disappeared in the late 90s. Thank you for the neonicotine, one of the plant insecticides to treated potato tubers, and suddenly all the potato insects gone. So even in the past, you have so many loaded insects, potato beetles in the field. Next year, you even can't find a specimen. So that thing is one of the newly organic pesticides. Worker is so efficiency to totally control, totally control of the potato beetles. So that was one of my early I worked on too. So potato is a very funny way. What they did is they treated the seeds. So one of the things is we say potato seeds. This is a potato seeds. We call the seeds is a quote unquote. It's not really seeds. Really seeds is this on the right side. Potato is like a tomato. In the same family of the tomato. So they actually have little fruits. They're like tomato, little tomatoes. They have a lot of seeds from here. We can eat the tomatoes, but the potato fruits like tomato, you're not supposed to eat it. Many times they have toxic, poisonous inside. So you don't eat potato seeds, fruits. Potato fruits is very tiny. You see, this is like maybe it's 1 centimeter or about 10 millimeter. So this is very small. If you opened, you can see all the seeds. You cut it open, it looks like a tomato. It's like green tomato. So the potato is also flower and have seeds, can make fruits, but the potato here itself under the ground is not seeds, not the roots. It's a stem. So potato is on the ground. It's a stem. It's like here. It's not roots. What's the difference between the roots and stem? Roots they can take nutrients or water from the soil. They will not produce a new bud or new branch from the roots. They support the whole stem to grow. But the stem here, you see all the stem, each have a lot of knots. Each knots, they can, if you, to cuttings, you put in soil, they can make another new plants. Each knots, they have little buds here, little bud here. They can start a new branch. So potato, the tube, is like a stem because they have eyes. You see, these potatoes have all the eyes. Each eye is like a potato segment. Each bud is from like a branch, the bud come out. So morphologically, the potato tube is a mutation of a potato stem. So it's called a stalk, it's called a stem. It's a stem, not really a seed. But you go to farm, everybody say potato seeds is this, is not that. So that's the difference. Farmers only use the potato tube as a seeds. This is not sexually reproduction. It's totally from by mother to mother continue to cuttings to transform the genetic. So from last generation to next generation, all the potatoes are same. They don't have a mutation because they don't produce offsprings next generation by sex. Is by the cutter from their organ to make another plant. From another organ, make another plant. So it's not from sexually mated. This is the real seeds. You can plant it. You still like plant potato like a eggplant or like tomatoes. They are same family. Seeds looks like similar to the tomato seeds too. You still can plant it. You will take a longer time to get potato plants because these seeds, these tubes, they have a lot of nutrients in the tube. They can support the new seedlings come very fast. So when you see the potato seedlings, it come out, the new seedlings is not like a so fragile. Many other species of vegetables, when you plant, the new sprouts come out is a lot so thin, a little roots, a little stem, very thin, and it's like easy to break. But potato seedlings, they come out very tough, very big, very strong stem. The seedlings are very strong too. So in the earlier time, even very little, the leaves, the stem very tough. So they bring a lot of nutrients from the original tube. For these seeds, what are used for? Because this is a real seeds. This is a real true, this is totally seeds. It's not like that seed. These seeds, they can sexually mate it to produce new different offsprings. This can be used to genetic selection. So if you one variety of the potato, another variety of potato, they put them together. They male flower to female flower. They made a new seeds. They will be totally new, different morphologically and genetically. Because this nature, if one trait, one feature of this variety, when you produce new springs, the offsprings, they produce many type, genotype or phenotype. Basically phenotype is morphologically different offsprings. Genotype is genetically different between your siblings. So then you can pick which gene phenotype from your looking, and then you can tell which genotype you can use for your new seeds, new variety. So this can be used genetic engineering, the seed genetic engineering to produce much better quality of each any species. So this will be used for the scientists, for the agriculture specialists. We use these seeds to produce a new variety of potato. And you can get a red skin, yellow skin, or all different shape, all different taste. Some is good for French fries, some is good for bake, some is for all different for stir fry. So each these features by selection from use real seeds, not from here. When you have this, then you fix this genotype and the phenotype. Then you can, next generation, you can use a tube to produce different. If you still use the seeds to produce, you may lose the future. So this is like when we buy some seeds from the seeds company, like a Monsanto. You buy a lot of corn seeds, maize seeds. You maybe only use one generation, next generation. If you keep harvesting your own seeds, next year may be different. So you have a lot of variation when you have the seeds. But when you fix the feature, then you go, if you like it, use a tube to produce the next generation, next year, next season. Then your potato will be keep stay same. For these potato seeds, some people said, do I need to treat it with the NOPF? Many seeds, all these different kind of seeds. Some seeds is very hard shell. You need to soak in the water, warm water, cold water. Sometimes soak with the put some NOPF in it, provide some nutrients when the seeds germinate. So for many other seeds, vegetable seeds, or corn or rice, you can do that. But potato, I wouldn't suggest. I wouldn't recommend you soak with NOPF because this is kind of a very moist, huge tube. Even you cut it, you don't plant the entire potato in one spot. You always cut. You keep one or two. I always cut it like make one eyes in each tube, kind of like cheap. If I did try save some. If you don't not like cheap as me, you can keep two eyes on the potato little cutting. Then you plant. They have a lot of nutrients here itself. And also this potato itself have some antibiotic feature. When you do some cuttings, if you put the stem in the potatoes, they may be reduce the infection. Many cuttings, many if you do some home cuttings, you say, yeah, this flower is so beautiful. This is tree is very beautiful. I want to make new plants. If you buy plants, expensive. Let me try some cuttings. I cut a snip, a branch, a tip, I put in the soil to see if I can generate new plants. I did some very good, last several years, I maybe did cutting maybe 1,000 or 2,000 new plants, made it that many. But in many cases, my cutting some very beautiful plants smells so good, like I just not able to. So it's a lot of technique. They said you can use this solution or something for the potato. You have provide some antibiotics features in it. So this itself have a lot of nutrients and have antibiotics. Then if you soak, they don't need a lot of more nutrients from you. So these buds can generate a new stem, new plants from their tube is enough nutrients. Also, if you soak them, they become wet. It become secondary infection of some bacteria. Then maybe a potato, maybe seeds, maybe rotted. So the best way is you cut it, Don't pile them up. Let them cool down. Let them dry. Let them, when you see the skin, the cutting place healed. So it's not dry, not leaking water anymore, not come out of water anymore. Then you can plant. Or you can put some ash onto it to mix it. The ash have some antibiotics in it. I remember when I was like 4 or 5, I had something on my toes. It's like that time is medical from countryside in China is very poor. We even didn't have any like local doctors. So when I was little, when I was got sick, first thing is go to temple, burning some incense to ask the Buddha can help you. So Buddha is the first doctor to help my generation kids, and the Buddha can heal you. So I remember one time with not with my parents, with my mom's side. So it's many very far away. So my parents didn't know. So one of my aunt went to the temple. It's says temple, it's not a real temple. It's like a stone in the field. They said it's one of the little Buddha there. So they burn some sand, take some ash back. So they, oh, Jianxin, said we got some, medicine from the Buddha, and I put it. Actually, I saw it's ash. Put ash in my skin. It worked. So you believe the religion, believe the Buddha, or actually something in it. It's something in it. It's the ash have some antibiotics in it because they have something. They can keep a lot of bacterial infection. Have a lot of yellowish, gooey thing come out. Put ash on it. They suck all this juice, liquid come out, and it can kill some bacteria. Actually healed. So it work in the name of the Buddha, but I think it's from ash. So this ash, when you ash, you from the cooking, the ash you can use for put sprinkle on the potato tubes. Help the healing, help the dry out, actually provide something antibiotics. Also, the ash have something very high potassium or have high some minerals in it. One of the feature of some ash like a broad bean. When I was a kid, believe me, my childhood is very poor, very, very poor. So we use some ash to do as a dish detergent to wash dishes. So it works. So ash have a lot of health benefits in it. They can use it as a medicine from the Buddha, or use detergent from you buy clean your dishes. Even right now, if I have something container so dirty, and I don't want to wash it in the kitchen, and if a lot of grease on it, I actually go outside, get something dirt, to clean it. Dirt, soil have some detergent too. So this is for something funny features of about potatoes. And how do we use? So we don't soak potato seeds with NOPF. How do we use NOPF during the potato production season? That's another thing. Potato is planting. Potato agriculture is very easy. It's very difficult. You can plant potatoes, have no clue, no idea. You still can have potatoes. Even you have your agriculture specialist, you may fail your potato planting too. So it's very easy and sometimes very difficult. The problem is, first a very easy part, because they have a lot of nutrients from the mother to potato tube. So even you don't give any fertilizer, it still can grow. That's especially in the subtropical area. Your soil is a lot of time have a lot of organic material in the soil. So you just have enough organic compost in the soil. But last year I went to one of the South Africa farm. Their soil seems like not as good as I was thinking because they are kind of a large farm, huge farm, and they come from like woods. They cut it from the hills, so the soil organic material is very low. That case, especially your large farming, you cannot afford to put a lot of organic in the field, so you need to put some NPK balanced fertilizer chemical. If you are not the organic farming, you still use NPK because you need to put something in the soil. First, you don't need to put a lot of nitrogen in the soil. Nitrogen can be washed away. Nitrogen is good for top dressing or side dressing, but the phosphate or potassium, they are very hard to make it available for plants. They are kind of like minerals, solid, not water soluble. So when you put in the soil, it takes a long time making the water soluble, available for plants. So that's good. You always put some phosphate P and K in the soil. You put this in this generation, it will be available for next season. Or you put this before planting, will be available in the late of your growing season. If we put a NPK, don't put a lot of N, put a many more P and K before planting, then the potatoes use their own tube nutrients. They start very strong seedlings. When you have enough seed leaves, then you start from here. You start use NOPF. Then when you continue, you from something you hear, you see the flower coming. The purple thing is the flower. When you flower coming, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. This time you can stop NOPF. When you stop early or stop late, it depends on your potato plant's conditions. If your plant is so good, plant very, very, very high, very dense, if you continue give a lot fertilizer and OPF, they may have problem. They may have started introduce some diseases because the lighting, because the moisture, the blight maybe came in. So you may have trouble. So this, if plant is a very good condition, you should stop a little bit early. So when you see the flower, okay, we stop. If your plant is not a great condition, it have a lot of open space, the air can pass through very nicely. You can put it, which means your leaf area is not large enough to stop all the sunlight, to stop the air circulation. You can put one more dose, one more NOPF. So this way, the whole purpose is to produce a lot of leaves. Then these leaves will pass the nutrients to the tube. We are not targeting for the fruits here. They are these real fruits, the flowers, fruits, seeds. This part is like a tomato. We are not shooting that. Doesn't matter how much fertilizer you give, the potato seed fruits will not grow any larger. They are very small anyway. So we only make sure get a lot of leaves and produce a large amount of the tubes. These tubes are not from, it looks like connected to the roots. No, they are not connected. The tube is not from the roots. They have one of the kind of like a looks like a root. Actually, it's a formation of the stem. And this stem, let me see if I have the name for that. I don't know. Okay, this stolen. I don't know how to say it. So this structure, the potato actually coming from that. It's not from the roots. This stolen is stem. It's kind of stem. So stem to stem produce another stem. That stem, last stem, this stem is potato tube. So how about the sweet potato? Is the sweet potato roots or stem? The same potato called potato. Potato is stem. Sweet potato is roots. So it's totally different. So sometimes it looks like the same. Oh, you're all in the soil. How about the peanuts? Peanuts is also very funny. So next time I will find something to talk about the peanut. Agriculture is a lot of fundamental biological stuff. We can use, that's why you see a lot of very famous genetics. The best genetics are entomologists. Why? Because the most genetics come from a fruit fly. Some people know a lot of genetics from fruit flies.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the fruit fly is a very, very basic, classic genetics. So the best genetics are entomologists. They studying, because insects, they're alive first. Second, they have all kind of different life stage. They have egg, they have immature stage. Immature stage have several stages. Then they have a pupa. Then pupa become adults. So they are all different life stage. Human, we are like, we are in the face of the live human right now. When we died, next phase, we don't know. Where is the God? Maybe different. I don't think the pupa, the larva knows what he's going to look like when he become a moth. I don't know if the moth knows after he laid the eggs, his next life, the larva looks like. Because they never see each other. The egg is hatched. You see the larva move around the worm. The worm changes to the pupa. They stay there for several weeks. They never move. They don't eat, nothing. And the pupa hatch, emerging as adults, are totally different. Huge eyes, fruit fly. They have 4 wings. They fly. They mate. They lay eggs. They die. So the time very short. The fruit fly is very short. They can, in a week, they produce another generation. The time is very fast, and it's a complete life cycle, and they can mate like human, like all animals. So this is the best, and also they have different, very, very unique features of the old body. And if you made with that A, made with B, they produce C, they have different feature. Produce D, different feature. And they use these features as a natural selection pressure, making a new species. And they can predict what's the genotype or what's the phenotype or the change. So it's studying agriculture most time in the extension, extension or in the field. Agriculture specialist is working for teach you how to do the farming, like me doing right now. But when we go back to the lab, go to the universities, Believe me, most of the agriculture professors don't know how to do the plant vegetables. They have most agriculture professors have no clue about agriculture. They are doing just the science, just do the genetic mating, genetic gene mutations, only studying one spot of here, the flower shape. So everybody specializes very, very, very tiny thing of the biological, basic biological stuff. Very, very few agriculture professor knows actually agriculture production. And I say, so why you know that? I'm a special different person because first I grew up from the farm, from very poor family. So I have to, when I remember things, I work on the farm all the time. So I have first feeling. And then when I went to university, I studied all different agriculture. I have the purpose. I want to become agriculture production specialist. When I went to college, that was my purpose. It's not for teaching, it's not for research. I had no clue about the research. I just know I want how to help farmers, to help my parents, my community to change the agriculture. So this is my original motivation. So I learn stuff people don't have no interest. So I learn agriculture, all different field, like cultivation, fertilizer, insects, fungicide, bacteria, virus. I learn everything. Then when I went to graduate school, I started specialize one of genetically, just behavior and molecular biology. So more advanced, see the deep science. When I become professor, I teach fundamental science, agriculture, and I teach agriculture field practice. That's one of the reasons I know so many. Even more important is I was what I call it, practice training advisor. So the third year and the fourth year seniors and the third year what's it called? No, for junior and senior years of the college students. I take them stay on the farm the entire summer to teach them how to do the research program. Because I'm the only supervisor there, so I have to understand every student's different projects. Every student do different. So basically, I become know everything. And the whole career and you supervise, you do all kind of different graduate students. Everyone do different. So that's why I know almost every corner of the agriculture because not too many professors do that way because they are not doing different experience. So the timing depends on you. That's why this is experience all come from my actual farming experience. When students ask me why don't we stop, I take them to go to the field, look at the plants. So if you're too clouded, stop early. If not clouded, you can stop later, promote more. Some why we teach, why we talk about discuss all different time, why we spend so much time on the potato. Actually, almost all this agriculture, all some plant species, very similar. We have been talking many different, tea, potato, tomato, rice, all different. But you can group them two different categories. One is seasonal, one season, like potato. You only plant one season, the plants die. and that is a multi-seasonal. In the Africa, you maybe have continuous, but in the northern area, like me here, we have right now we still have snow, cold, nothing in the field. So you have 4 seasons clear. So you have multi-season plants like fruit trees, peach, pear, all these kind of many years. So for many years plants and 1 year plants, so annual perennial. So you can group them 2 different groups. Then people ask you, how do I use this NOPF on the, like say, one for the vegetable, Chinese cabbage? We never discuss. Anybody we do. So you can think about that way. Okay, what if a category is? Honestly, many things I talk about, nobody teach me. Because I have all this science background, I can think, organize. Okay, what the category is? This is a potato, okay, 1 season. Do you have vegetative growth or reproductive growth? Do you have, are you harvesting the greens or you are harvesting the fruits or seeds? So this, then you look at what's my fertilizer is. My fertilizer is amino acids, trace elements. What's the function of the mode of action? What's the science of the amino acids? What's the science of the trace elements? So you combine all this together, and then you can come up one of the solution to analyze your case. So every case is different. So like I make these slides, I kind of put everything, my knowledge, combine my fertilizer, everything together, make it is different cases. It's not a copy. You cannot find it in any place because you need to think all these different aspects. So basically we are teaching, we are training, we are talking, discussing each case, but kind of like repeatedly analyze each case. Then you have some formation in your mind. Next time, even you have no clue. When people ask you, you can think about everything, organize, then put it into you can answer the questions based on your know your object, know your fertilizer, know your plants, know your weather condition, know your soil, know your insects, know your diseases. Like here, we have potato have a huge problem. It's not the fertilizer, it's the diseases. I think we went to one of the Africa country, I forget, Kenya or something. Many plants, potatoes are died. You cannot spray more fertilizer. Even you spray fungicide, not work. So you have to, now you think about, okay, what I do? This blight is the plant pathogens. Can you control plant pathogens? Very difficult. For the insects, you can spray insecticides, can kill them mostly. We are not targeted to get 100% control. We don't want to kill every insect, but we want to control the population to the level plant can tolerate. To the level we put 1 cent in it, we get more than 1 cent back. If we lose money, I'm not going to spray pesticides. For the insects, for the you can get a control. For the diseases, a lot of time you have no way to control. You dead. How do you best option? First, GMO, genetically modified organism, to develop something disease resistance of the variety. So they don't care this bacteria. They don't care of this fungi. Second, to avoid. If you find that you have diseases in this field, rotation here. This is our ancestors. They don't have molecular biology. They still can get a plant working, agriculture working. Is understand the rotation technique. If you find the disease, you cannot control. You don't have good seeds. You don't have DNA. What do? If like one whole Chinese said, I can 我打不过你，我还不能逃吗？ So if I cannot beat you, but I can avoid you, so I will not do plant here again. Next year I'm not going to plant here. We'll make a rotation. This year I plant something. Next year I plant different. So make it 3 years. How many years rotation depends on your studying. Depends on you and how much you know about these diseases. Some cotton diseases take 15 years. You cannot go back 15 years. That's forever. So what do you do that? You have to localize any plant, remove them immediately to sanitize, to basically change the soil, or to give up this land. For a lot of things, you can feel rotations 2 or 3 years is fine. So what do you rotate? Next crop. You don't want to basically you don't want to plant the potato in this field anymore. Next year you plant something, soybeans, beans, alfalfa, something you can get the harvest. Also, you can change the improve the soil. For all the bean legume family, they have bacteria on their roots. This is symbolic bacteria actually help the plants to fix nitrogen from air. We have a lot of nitrogen in the air. We just cannot use it. If we can, all the plants can fix nitrogen from the air, we don't need a nitrogen fertilizer at all. One of the best fertilizer, professor, Dr. Li's professor, supervisor, advisor in Nanjing Agricultural University, actually he was a kind of founding father of China microbiology. They are studying how to fix nitrogen from air to plants using the bacteria. So one of my best friend was working on it, and this is Dr. Li's lab, and her supervisor was the founding father of China microbiology. He was a person to create the penicillin during the World War II to save so many Chinese soldiers. So this is a very important. So I'm talking about this. okay, too much. So for the rotation, so you use nitrogen fixed plants or use some any agriculture, economic crop to rotation. So this is, and what else? Okay, in summary, we don't need we put a lot of organic stuff in the soil before planting. We don't need to soak potato seeds with an NOPF. Make sure soil potatoes tubes are dry a little bit. Don't put in soil right away. You cut and let it sit, let them dry a little bit. Or you put some ash and make sure you don't have running liquids from the potatoes. Then you don't need to fertilize. Wait until you have enough leaves to spray some top dressing, side dressing of the NOPF. And then when you see the flower, kind of you stop, is enough to stop. When you stop, depends on your crop, your potato leaves. If If your foliage is high enough, you stop early. You don't want to get a new blight plant disease issue. Plants, most important, if you don't give any fertilizer, they still produce potatoes, just a low yield. The key is the photosynthesis from sunlight. If you leave too many, you only can use the top leaves to use the sunlight. The bottom leaves, the middle leaves are wasted. So why you produce too many leaves? When we use NOPF, sometimes we try to avoid over fertilizer. When you over fertilize, the plants will be go crazy. Too good. Too good. The top, especially like a cotton. When you cotton too good, the cotton fruits is all different levels. From bottom, we start to have some cotton fruits. The middle, the top, when the top ones is the season is in the northern region, like in my hometown, like here. In the top ones, most time just useless. You have to, after October 1st, you have to cut the top off. You cannot let them produce more fruits anymore because they have not enough time. Like fig trees, FIG, the fig trees, I have to cut the top in the later season because if you don't cut it, you keep continue produce a lot of fruits, but the snow coming soon, you will not be able to harvest anyway. So we need to make you sure all the bottom middle level of the cotton fruits receive enough sunlight. Then they have a nice yield. If sunlight is not good, they will have some diseases coming. Leaf and the fruits they will rot. So it's a lot of agriculture kind of you have to know everything to be the best. Not easy. Very easy. Farming is not easy to make a good farmer. So this is about something I made it yesterday, today. This new slides. Any questions? Anything I confused you?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, I have question.
Okay.
All right. My name is Justin from I wanted to ask about cocoa and chocolate. What is the dosage in terms of using applying for a chocolate tree, cocoa tree, chocolate tree? So is it the same dosage for using with potatoes or with
Like we just discussed, we can group the cocoa trees. They are different from the one season potato plants. This is the multi-season plants. So when you do that, you have something what called you can the best time is before flower. Either make sure enough when you start a couple of things that we need to be careful. One is make sure you spray fertilizer after weeded. Make sure you don't want to have a lot of weeds around. Second, the best thing is you pick out after the picking and they started trimming. You cut all these branches you don't want it. This is almost give you all the little bush plants, same thing. Then you still fertilize. The concentration you still can be 1 to 1 ml or 20 ml to 20 liters or 1 to 1,000 ratio. For the plants, for the one season plants, the leaves are tender. So you want a lower concentration. For the multi-year plants, you can go a little bit. The leaves are much thicker, much waxy, and they are much tougher to tolerate any concentration. So you can get a little bit high, but you don't need to go too much high. Most time is the water. So you can still go 1-to-1 ratio, 1-to-1 liter ratio will be good enough. But you don't need to spray 4 times, more than 4 times a year for the cocos. So before flowers, you maybe should do everything before flowers. All the first 2 weeks flower, then you can stop. You don't need to continue too much. For any question I didn't answer, can you? I don't see the chat room. I don't have a lot in the chat room.
Quick question.
From Malawi. Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
The fertilizer is good, and many people have tried to use this fertilizer.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, but we have a big problem here. We don't have the supply of fertilizer for many months. So this is affecting us on this side. But the fertilizer is good. We have seen people using the fertilizer on potatoes, on maize. The fertilizer is doing good, but the problem is we don't have the supply of fertilizer.
Do we have any more questions? Because it's already 1 hour. If you have any questions, please kindly leave your questions in the chat room. Professor is going to answer your questions next time. Can we use on yam? Okay, shall we leave these questions until next time? How to use the NLPM in growing yam? Any more
Okay,
questions?
next time, actually, when I ask you a question, you ask earlier, and if you let me talk, I will talk and you didn't have time. When I talk, I continue to talk. I forgot to ask you a question. So don't let me talk first. If I talk first, I will not stop.
Yeah, that is to say at the very beginning of the Zoom meeting, please throw your question. So it will take, well, Professor will give you a very detailed answer. But if you ask your question at the last moment, you got to wait until next time. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have one question: how to use the NLPM in yam, growing yam. If you have any more questions, please send your questions to Mr. Budiman, who's going to forward the questions to Professor. Thank you so much once again. How long should we explain more about applying ash? Oh, okay. You want to know more about, the ash, use the ash to kill bacteria.
Just sprinkle dry is enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
you don't need.
Okay.
And the ash itself is a fertilizer, so you can take it with the ash with you go to the field.
All right, thank you so much and enjoy your weekend. We're going to see you after 2 weeks. So thank you once again, Professor. Thank you. See you after 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a
Bye.
good weekend.
Thank you and
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
good man. Thank you. Oh, Professor, thank you very much. Thank you for the good
Thank
thing. We
you.
have enjoyed. All right, please. It's a nice.
Mr. Ali from Uganda.